All right, so we've got a new product that we are debuting with Simon Hurley Creates team. These are really cool. You guys know that I love to try out new products and kind of see how they work, test them out, see what I might use them for in my craft room. And this product is what way am I going here? This is Lunar Paste. So this stuff comes in a jar. There are 5 colors to start with. So we've got Later Gator, Slippery When Wet, Bee Sting, Clear Skies, Traffic Cone. They're like kind of a rainbow assortment of colors, and I am so excited to get started and craft with them. I'm going to try them a few different ways and kind of just see how they can be used and what we can do with them in the craft room. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So let's start with what exactly are lunar pastes. According to the container, lunar paste is a creamy and colorful paste with a metallic shine. You can apply it through stencils with a palette knife for definition, or apply a thin layer direct to a surface for a metallic paint-like finish. I knew as soon as I saw these pastes that I wanted to try them on both black and white cardstock so that I could get a real idea of what they looked like, how opaque or translucent they were, and really what they were going to do for me in the craft room. So I pulled out 2 pieces of cardstock. I got one piece that was black and one piece that was white so that I could try this exact same color on both and see how they compare. Now I'm working with this adorable Starfall stencil from Simon's line. I think this one is called Stargazer. I'll have everything linked below in case you guys want to check anything out. I used a palette knife to apply the paste directly through the stencil, making sure to use kind of the more of the flat backside of the palette knife, just to ensure that I wasn't scraping out any of the paste from where I had already applied it, and I was getting a more smooth finish when I removed my stencil. You can see how gorgeous that looks on the black cardstock, and I was really impressed with how well it showed up and just how vibrant and beautiful it looked on that black cardstock. Now, all pastes are not created equal, and I was worried that because it was a nice paste on the black, it wouldn't be on the white, and I was wrong. Thankfully, this is beautiful on both the white cardstock and the black cardstock, and I know you could use this on a variety of colors in between. This one is the Slippery When Wet, and it really does have that gold sort of effect because it's the yellow with the metallic finish. But the other ones have that metallic look as well. So you're really able to get a lot of shine and a lot of kind of bang for your buck when you're using these pastes. They really kind of take your project to the next level, which I am a huge fan of. Now, I decided to use some Ranger Archival ink and stamp out some of the rocket ships from Space Training. This is an older Simon stamp set. And I wanted to test if you could paint with these, similar to some other pastes and things that you can use. So I scooped out a little bit of each of these 2 colors. This is Bee Sting and Clear Skies. And I placed them on my silicone mat. This is also from Ranger. And I used the just like a little paintbrush here to paint them directly onto my stamped image. Now, the reason I use the archival ink is because it is water resistant. You can use it with water techniques, which made this perfect because I did spritz those with a little bit of water. Now, the thing to note here is that a little goes a long way, and you don't need very much of this paste. For what I was doing, this was way too much paste. So you're really going to get a lot for the value here when you purchase these because you don't need to use a lot to get that wow factor. I was able to color this whole thing in with those 2 colors, and I am super happy with how that turned out. Now, I did grab the I think I used traffic cone for the little piece of fire at the bottom, but I didn't put that on camera because it was such a tiny little bit. Now, the other thing I wanted to try was what the pastes look like by themselves. So I used up some of the paste that I had already put onto my surface here, and I made sort of a red, white, and blue kind of patriotic looking background. Now, this wasn't my best work. I was just kind of using what I had because I didn't want the scraps to go to waste. But my plan for this is actually to cut a shape out of it, like maybe a heart or something like that. And then it will be that beautiful shine of the red and the blue with a little bit of that white poking through. And I think it'll be great for like maybe a Memorial Day card, something for the 4th of July. I think this is going to be a perfect combination. So now we've used the paste through a stencil, we've painted with it, and we have used it on its own on a background. The other thing that I wanted to try was splattering with this. Now, it is possible you can get this to splatter. However, it is a little more difficult to mix this and get it to a smooth consistency. You can see I'm kind of messing around with a palette knife. It sort of, when you first apply the water, gets a little chunky, for lack of a better or descriptive word. It gets a little chunky and it can be a little hard to mix, but you still get an amazing result. So although it doesn't look the most appetizing, it does the job and it works perfectly. I used it for that splatter background in the later Gator color and I think it turned out perfect. I decided to go ahead and finish off a card. Since I had already created a background and the cute little rocket, I wanted to make a completed project with these pastes. So I decided to get a pair of sharp scissors and cut out my little rocket image. I leave a little white border. You don't have to do this. It's totally up to you. I like it just because I think it makes it look a little bit more crisp and finished, but this is a totally personal preference. You don't have to do that. I took my Ranger Archival ink in jet black that I already had out because I used it for the rocket to stamp out my stencil. Of course, as per usual, I stamped it crooked, so I decided to stamp it again on the top and hopefully get a better result, and yes, I did. So once I finished stamping that out, I did go ahead and trim that down with my Fiskars paper trimmer. I just wanted a little strip. Now, normally I probably would have done this on black cardstock and then used white heat embossing or embossing powder to get my effect that I like on my cards. However, since I wanted to use the black background, I knew that doing a black sentiment strip wouldn't really give it too much wow factor, or it wouldn't really pop out very much. So I went with the white. Now this is very uncomfortable for me as I don't normally do a white sentiment strip with black lettering, but I think this worked out. Let me know what you guys think about it. It's good to step outside of our comfort zones here and now. So I went ahead and put some foam tape on the back of my sentiment strip and placed that where I wanted it. I decided to go ahead and put the rocket up towards the top, kind of like it was off flying in outer space. I had toyed around with the idea of kind of layering things up and keeping the sentiment and the rocket close together, but in the end, I felt like it looked nice up there in the sky or outer space, as rockets should be. Look how nice that shines in the light. I don't know if you guys could see that, but it looks beautiful. Ooh, bonus, I made another background that I didn't film, but look how beautifully I was able to blend the pastes there through the stencil. I did the red and the blue, and I kind of mixed them right in the middle for a little bit of a purple. So you can do that as well with these. That finished off my card. I kept it really simple. I hope you guys like it, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about Lunar Paste. Drop a comment down below and let me know what you think. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you guys in another video really soon.